How are you feeling?
Well,
How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
Could you give me some idea?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them. I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do, and this influences my thinking and consequently my action.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
Play the piano for people.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
is the end. I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be out you. Won't anybody help us? What are we running for? When there's nowhere we can run to anymore. We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. And with the power of conviction, there is no sacrifice. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible.
Who the fuck is Karlyn? She's just some sweet lady. She's like in a knitting. She does like a knitting stream. She's like a knitting YouTuber. She does knitting.
Can we grow up a little bit and
Alt
not
Girl
be
sent $200.
retarded?
Have you
Please.
seen the work of Karlyn Borysenko? Anti-commie cult leader and is obsessed with looking at what actual far-left communists are talking about and organizing today, infiltrating them. They infiltrated the universities, schools, media. She has the receipts to back it up. Primary source evidence. Infestation is dire and she calls Republicans idiots eating slop. Agree.
Thank you for the big super chat. Yeah, oh, I know Karlyn B. She's solid. She's funny. I
The
like
great
her.
noticer sent $200.
Literally.
So
not
it's,
Ian.
it's not a because I haven't dangled my junk into the combat zone on purpose to get some camera footage, but that's the big part of what's the
Is
problem.
that what you call reporting?
Go
and live
under if
streaming?
you're going to do it.
Yeah,
go
seriously.
undercover. Otherwise, you're wearing a hunk of meat in a lion's den. Nick Shirley, I love you. Take care of yourself, man. Karlyn Borysenko went undercover. Do stuff like that. Like if you want to expose this thing, don't pariah, please.
But Ian, here's and I agree with you to an extent.
And I've learned a lot from Karlyn Borysenko, who goes in undercover with the left. And I've figured out from looking at her work, like when I first saw her stuff, I was like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. I need to like connect with her. And she actually, the first time I got assaulted in 2025, followed me and sent me messages, and she checked on me for months, just privately. It was so nice to have somebody like, are you okay? But I could tell she knew what she was talking about, and I subscribe to her. I look at all her stuff. I've learned so much, and I thought I knew a lot. I've learned so much.
You know, I can't really be upset at someone sending me a $200 super chat, Trendlin. I can't be upset with someone sending me a $200 super chat, except that Trendlin is trying to make me watch the Whatever podcast. Trendlin is trying to bribe me to watch some dumb debate episode of the Whatever podcast. And I feel like I said 50 channel memberships, Trendlin, and if we're being technical about it, $200, well, super generous. And I love you and I appreciate you. $200 accounts for 40 channel memberships, not 50 channel memberships, which was the original arrangement, madam. Which was the original offer. I feel like Trendlin's trying to get me to negotiate in real time. Trendlin's like, what if I get close to meeting the offer? I gave Trendlin a number and I said, Trendlin, I will watch this fucking Whatever podcast if you send in 50 channel memberships. And Trendlin's like, how about 40, Karlyn? How about 40? How about 40? And I put you on the spot live on your show so that you can't tell me no. I mean, technically it would be another $50, Trendlin, if we're being honest about it. Technically it would be another 50. Trying to get me to watch the Whatever podcast. Trendlin, we have important business. We have important business to cover today. And Trendlin's like, but Karlyn, what about the Whatever podcast? I mean, really, what about the Whatever podcast? What about, I'm like, oh man. There it is. Fuck you, Trendlin. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Trendlin. Fuck you. All right. All right. All right. Fine. Obviously, we are not watching the Whatever podcast today because we do actually have important shit to do today, Trendlin. All right. But if you text me the link to the thing you wanted me to watch, I will slot it in when we have time. Might be on Friday. It might be a late night stream. But text me the... Thank you, Trendlin. You're very generous and you're a good friend, even if you're a fucking bitch. And even if I don't like you very much, but I do like you because you're weird and you're odd and you let me sleep on your couch that one time. And I can't, fuck you, Trendlin. I can't be fucking mad at you. Not even when you go into Andrew Wilson's chat and try to start problems. Not even when you're super chatting everyone to try to get there to be an internet feud because you're fucking bored. I can't even be mad at it because if you guys ever met Trendlin in real life, Trendlin is one of she's like, I can't hate her. I can't. She's got all this cool art all over her house. She's got all this like wacky shit. She's weird. When I went out to her house, she ordered pizza and she made me sit down and watch Terrifier 2, which I hadn't seen before and I really enjoyed. Cuz I like horror movies and that sort of thing. Man, I want to dislike Trendlin because she tries to make me watch the Whatever podcast and I want to be really mean to her. And then she sends me $250 to bribe me. And I'm like, all right. You know, Trendlin, I can't be mad at you. I fucking can't. And you know it. And it sucks. Trendlin is just one of those people that no matter how many problems she causes in my life, I can't fucking be mad at her. Like, we all have those people. All right. We all have those people. Thank you, Trendlin. Very generous. I will watch the whatever podcast episode that you want me to watch, and I will react to it, and I will get really high before I do it, because I'm not watching that shit sober. That's not gonna happen, Trendlin. But I will watch it. I will do it. I promise. But let's not forget old sub like a fucking legend, old sub who never asks anything of me, old sub who never tries to get me to do anything that I don't want to do, old sub who never tries to bribe me to watch content on the internet that I don't want to watch, old sub who is just there every fucking day. Unlike Trendlin, old sub is just there every fucking day, donating the 10 gifted channel memberships, or sometimes more, sometimes less, just depending. Trendlin, can you send that to me in a text message, please, my dear? Can you send that to me in a text message? I would appreciate it. I'll pull it up here too, but can you please send that to me in a text message? Thank you. W's to you, old sub. We love you. We appreciate you. I appreciate you way more than Trendlin. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, Trendlin, we're going to count those. And we got Nickin. We're going to count Trendlin's as channel memberships towards the goal, because that's the right thing to do. We got Red Menace Nick in there. W's to you, Nick. Thank you so much for the gifted channel membership. Really appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, you know, on the bright side, even though I now have to watch the Whatever podcast, we are off to a strong start today in terms of reaching the membership goal. And that's rad. Wait, there's a DM feature on YouTube now? I didn't even know this. I am, of course, as you know, a professional streamer on the internet. I didn't even know this. Have no idea. No idea about it. No idea at all. All right, guys. Well, we got a couple things we need to do today. Item number one, and the most important, well, actually, we're only doing really one item today. Guys, Trump has arrested Antifa. Antifa is over. Trump has saved the day. Trump, I'm going to get, if there's actually a DM feature on YouTube, you guys have no idea the weird shit that's about to come my way. Probably even worse than TikTok. Probably even worse than Facebook. Probably even worse than Instagram. Probably even worse than Twitter. And I get weird shit on all of those platforms. Like literally all of those platforms. Yep, guys, we've had a victory in the fight against Antifa. Trump has arrested 15 of them in Minneapolis. Can I get a slow clap? Can I get a slow clap for the Trump administration ending Antifa by arresting 15 people in Minneapolis for things that happened months and months and months and months and months ago? Can we get a slow clap for Trump in the chat? I mean, Antifa is basically over. I just don't know how Antifa is ever going to recover from having 15 out of over 80,000 far left activists in Minneapolis alone. I just don't know how Antifa is ever going to recover from this stunning and brave move by the Trump administration to arrest 15 people. Now, listen, am I upset that those particular people got arrested? No. I will give credit where credit is due. And I will say it actually does, by some fucking miracle, and I don't know exactly how this happened, but, you know, we have to count our blessings where they come because they come so fucking rarely. By some miracle, it does actually appear that Trump has actually arrested real Antifa and not people that he's saying are Antifa, but that are not really Antifa, because there are a lot of people on the far left, even on like the revolution. Thank you, Trent. There are people on the far left, the revolutionary far left, that are not Antifa, but they do want to overthrow the government, but they're not Antifa. Antifa is a very specific like subset of the revolutionary far left. So you can be on the far left and you can be engaging in all this stuff and still not be a member of Antifa, because how I define Antifa, which is really the only intelligent way to do it, is you look at the tactics that they're engaging in. Are they engaging in black bloc? Are they using umbrellas? Do they have security protocols, security culture? Are they funding via mutual aid? Do they support elections? Are they engaging in violence and destruction? There are all sorts of behavioral tactics that Antifa uses that not all far left groups use. So, for example, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, I believe, is a far left group. I believe they are revolutionary communists. However, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which is Trump's favorite socialist thing because it's the only thing that people on the right actually know about, they disavow violence. The Party for Socialism and Liberation are annoying as fuck. They are nationally organized. They can turn out a protest in less than 24 hours. All of those things are true. The Party for Socialism and Liberation does not engage in violence, because the Party for Socialism and Liberation care about optics, because that's just part of their thing. And by the way, Antifa hates the Party for Socialism and Liberation and won't work with them. Antifa has written pamphlets about this. Antifa posts stickers about this. They post graffiti about this. I've seen it. I've documented it. When I went to the Lenin statue in Seattle, the giant-ass Lenin statue, there was literally a sticker on the Lenin statue in Seattle, and I have a photo of this, where Antifa is denouncing the Party for Socialism and Liberation. So I kind of assume that most of the time that the Trump administration is coming out and saying, we did X, Y, B, and Z thing around Antifa, I mostly assume that they're full of shit. If I'm being honest about it, I mostly assume that they don't know what they're talking about and that they didn't actually do anything related to actual Antifa. It was one of these other groups on the far left, but the Trump administration doesn't know the difference. And so it's all very confusing. But where I will give credit where credit is due is it does actually, in real life, look like Trump has arrested actual Antifa people. So, progress. We can't be upset about this. 15 Antifa sitting their asses in jail. That's not a bad thing. However, can we be realistic for a moment here? Can we hinge into reality for a moment and just acknowledge that perhaps arresting 15 low-level Antifa activists that are not even the lead organizers of all of the organizing that's going on around the anti-ICE protesting, because they're not. These are not the lead organizers. These are lower-level people. Again, not upset they're arrested. Fine, sit their asses in jail. I don't really give a fuck. But these are not the lead organizers. They're not even really connected with all of the groups that are doing the anti-ICE organizing in Minneapolis. I mean, again, these are dangerous people. Not upset they're arrested. But we're hinging into reality for a moment. There are over 80,000 80,000 far left anti-ICE activists in Minneapolis alone. Karlyn, how do you know there are over 80,000 far left anti-ICE activists in Minneapolis alone? Because I listen in on their organizing calls, and we recorded a whole bunch of their organizing calls earlier this year, and they talked over and over and over and over and over and over and over again about how there were over 80,000 people in the anti-ICE organizing signal groups all across the city, which were hyper-localized to such an extent that if someone spotted ICE literally anywhere in Minneapolis, they could text it out to the anti-ICE signal groups, and there would be people there with video cameras in 2 minutes. So can we just be realistic for a moment and say that although I don't think any of us are upset that these 15 Antifa people are sitting in jail, again, progress, is arresting 15 people remotely enough to stop what's going on in Minneapolis, not to mention everywhere else in the country that this stuff has been going on? One in the chat if you think arresting 15 Antifa is enough to stop the anti-ICE organizing. 2 in the chat if you think probably maybe they could have done a little bit more. 1 in the chat if you think, oh yeah, arresting these 15 people, Trump W, Antifa L, Antifa over, right wins, left loses. 2 in the chat if perhaps, just perhaps, Trump could have harnessed all the power of the federal government, which he has access to go and arrest maybe several thousand more people. Why doesn't Trump do what the Democrats did after January 6th and go arrest literally everyone? Why is it that every single fucking person in those rapid response signal groups in Minneapolis are not getting their FBI interview? I was on the White House lawn on January 6th. I didn't even go in the fucking building. And I was still forced to spend $2,000 on a lawyer to talk to the FBI for standing on the White House lawn, or not the White House lawn, the Capitol lawn. Sorry, I was at the Capitol on January 6th. You know what I meant. For standing on the Capitol lawn, filming what was going on, having no involvement in any of it, not going in the building at all, I still had to pay $2,000 to go sit down with the FBI and have a lawyer present, okay? So why is it that Trump isn't doing what the Democrats did after January 6th, which is to harness all the power of the federal government to go and arrest thousands of people and force all of them to sit down with the fucking FBI? If the Democrats could do that to the January 6th protesters, then why can't the Trump administration do that to the tens of thousands of people that are actively impeding the operations of federal agencies enforcing the law in Minneapolis? The Democrats got, how many people were arrested after January 6th? How many people had to spend money on lawyers? How many people went to jail for going in the Capitol building and walking through the velvet ropes on January 6th? And you're telling me the best that the Trump administration could muster was 15 fucking people, when we ourselves have thousands of these activists on video talking about what they're doing in Minneapolis. This is all public information, and yet we get 15. Yeah. You guys remember that teachers union rep that we watched literally yesterday that was on video daring the Trump administration to arrest her? She didn't get arrested today. Now, if Marcia Howard had gotten arrested, the president of the Minneapolis Teachers Union, who has been actively involved in all the anti-ICE organizing from the very beginning, if Marcia Howard got elected, I would have been like, Trump, fucking finally. I actually would have given Trump real applause for that. If Trump had arrested Marcia Howard, the president of the teachers union that's been organizing all the teachers in Minneapolis to do this shit, that would have sent a message. That would have been a W for Trump. If Trump had arrested Jackson Potter, the vice president of the Chicago Teachers Union, who was doing all this shit in Chicago, who we literally have on video saying he wants to overthrow the government, yeah, that would have been a W. Because now you're starting to get to the organizers. The people that Trump arrested are not the lead organizers, guys. They're just not. They're not. They're not good. I'm not upset they're in jail. They can rot there for the rest of their lives for all I care. I don't care. But we need to be more nuanced in our analysis, because that's what makes this the best place on the internet to understand what the left is doing. Trump did not arrest the lead people. He didn't. He didn't arrest people that's going to send a message. In fact, he just made 15 martyrs in Minneapolis. He just made 15 martyrs in Minneapolis. It has been popping off in Minneapolis all day, All of this information is all over Instagram. I will show you some of it because we're going to go through a lot of like the breaking news coverage today. But it's just like, man, every single time. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Oh, they fucked it up again. Oh, the Trump administration proves yet again they don't know what they're talking about. The Trump administration proves yet again that they don't know how the left is actually organizing. So we're going to cover it and we're going to see what happened. Yep, we've got that actually. So I've got the press conference that the Trump administration did. I want to sit down and watch this. I also have the press conference that the National Lawyers Guild did outside of the courthouse in Minneapolis. This is just a couple hours ago. And then I've got some other stuff that I've got a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram that's been popping up because, I mean, the left is posting about this like mad over on Instagram. They've got videos, actually, like a bright note. Actually, let me see. Do I have this? Look at this. They're tear gassing Antifa outside the courthouse. They're already protesting outside the courthouse in Minneapolis, and they're getting like tear gassed and stuff like that. So, you know, that's a W. We're seeing, macing in broad daylight and Antifa getting sprayed in the face. And that's pretty fucking cool, actually. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Moon Goddess makes a great point. I'm betting the 15 Antifa that got arrested today probably aren't going to sit in jail as long as the January 6ers did. Probably not. Probably not. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to go through the breaking news coverage. We're going to listen to everything. I will listen to everything the Trump administration has to say about this, and I will judge it on face value. I will also listen to the press conference from the National Lawyers Guild, which of course is a far left association of lawyers. Many of the people in the National Lawyers Guild are actual Antifa. And these are probably going to be the people that are representing them because they already have all these structures set up. And so we're going to listen to their press conference and we're going to see what they have to say. And then if we have time, we're going to start going through some of the Instagram content of leftists talking about this. Yes, there's a disenraged tonight. Yes, there is. Don't worry about it. And so that's what we're going to do today. Now, we have other things we need to do today because at 8 p.m. tonight, or 7:45 rather, we are going into a spy stream. There are 3 spy streams this week. There's one today, there's one tomorrow, and there is one on Thursday, all of which are in the evening. And so spy stream is when we go inside live leftist organizing calls and we watch them live. If you've never been to a spy stream, it's a great day to get started because at around 7:45 p.m. Eastern time tonight, we are going to be going into spy stream and we are going to secretly record leftists talking about what they're going to be doing to fight fascism on July 4th. Is it illegal to record leftist meetings? Are you a massive pussy or something? How is it possible that conservatives are like, excuse me, isn't it illegal to record leftist meetings? Fuck you. Grow a set of balls. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that shit. Don't even know what to say. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight, guys. If you are a YouTube channel member, you do get access to this. Just check the post tab on the YouTube channel homepage. And so I would love to get a bunch more gifted channel memberships out today. Gifting channel memberships helps to fund my work. It helps to fund these streams. We do have a 100 channel membership goal. Thank you to Trendlin and Old Sub for getting us to 61 technically so far. I would love to get up to 100 gifted channel memberships today, guys. I am completely independently funded. I can only do this stuff if you allow me to do it by funding my work. I take no political money. I have no political masters. I will never sell you any political narrative. I will just show you the primary sources and we will talk about it and we'll break it down and we'll decode the language and all that good stuff. So if you appreciate what I do, please make sure you send in some channel memberships or super chats. Rumble, that goes for you too. You guys are not off the hook. And if you join via my Substack or become a YouTube channel member or anything else, you will get access to our spy streams where we have 3 of them this week. So we will be going inside 3 leftist organizing calls this week. And that's going to be that's worth the price of membership alone, I'm pretty sure. Focus, thank you so much for the gifted channel membership. Really, really, really appreciate it. Guys, if you have ever been to a spy stream, answer me this. Don't answer if you've never been to a spy stream. 1 in the chat if you have ever been to a spy stream and it was totally worth the price of a channel membership or a Substack subscription. 2 in the chat if you have been to a spy stream and it sucked and it wasn't worth it at all. I'm going to ask the community. 1 in the chat if you've been to a spy stream before and it was totally worth the price of admission. 2 in the chat if you have been to a spy stream and it sucked and it was stupid and a big waste of your time and money. I'm just letting the chat answer. You can see it on the screen. Spy stream is one of the coolest things that we do. There's a reason that we keep them supporter exclusive, because it cuts down on the likelihood of an error, or it cuts down on the left finding out what we're doing until it's already over. It cuts down on their ability to try to figure out who I am. Just having a paywall up also keeps the retards out of the chat, so it's so nice. We don't have any conservative retardation or very, 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 very little of it in the chat. It's one of the coolest things that we do, guys. You get to see the left organize in real time. You get to hear about what they're going to do before anyone else on the internet knows about it. Sometimes we go viral because of spy stream. Sometimes we get people fired from their jobs because of spy stream. So make sure if you want to come, pick up a channel membership or hope that you get donated one today. Go to the Substack. You can get a subscription there. That's Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. You can also join on Locals Patreon or become a Twitter subscriber. All of you guys get access to Spy Stream. The information has been posted on all of those platforms. And I really do hope we can reach our 100 channel member goal today and bring more people into the channel. But without further ado, let's get everyone to mount the like button for me, if you would be so kind. And we are going to watch the press conference from earlier today, and we will find out what explicitly they're being charged with. This is the White House, I guess, or the Trump press conference from earlier. Let's listen.
Political violence and intimidation. Today, a federal indictment was unsealed, charging 15 defendants with conspiracy to impede or injure federal officers and other charges related to efforts of 2 Minneapolis-based Antifa groups that violently opposed the enforcement of federal law in our state. The defendants are members and associates of Direct Action Minnesota. They are charged with conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, solicitation to commit a crime of violence, interstate threats, interstate stalking, assault on a federal officer, and destruction of government property. Earlier this morning, agents of...
You have to call them Antifa groups because people have to get used to identifying what Antifa is. You guys can't just change language every time you don't like it. Inventing new words and inventing new meanings is what the left does. You have to speak in terms that people understand. These are Antifa groups. Antifa by Trump have already been declared domestic terrorists. We have to refer to them by the proper terminology. When you make shit up like Andy No does, because Andy No makes shit up that's not real all the time, that is a way of gatekeeping information. I want people to understand this. When Andy No makes up words like Trantifa, what Andy No is trying to do is gatekeep information to make it impossible for people to research it on their own. Because if you type in Trantifa to a search engine or into ChatGPT, you're not going to find any real stuff about the queer militant far left because Andy No is making up words to gatekeep information. We don't do that here. We refer to things as their proper terms because language matters. Definitions matter. And I want anyone to be able to come on this channel and research anything I say using the proper terminology so that they can see and find the information on their own without having to rely on me. That is not what Andy No wants. He wants to gatekeep information to keep his audience captured. I believe in giving everyone the information they need using proper language and proper terminology. Thank you, Mike. You sent in 2 of them. I don't know if you meant to, but I really do appreciate it, bro. You rock.
Homeland Security investigations conducted a coordinated law enforcement operation culminating in the arrest of 12 of the 15 defendants. One defendant had already been in custody on other federal charges. 2 defendants remain fugitives at large. Today's charges and arrests reflect a broad federal effort to address organized lawless behavior which seeks to disrupt the execution of federal law, endanger law enforcement, and importantly, endanger the very communities
No.
defendants falsely claim.
As you just said, you're brand new here, so we're gonna get you up to speed real quick. You do not lie to the public and misinform the public. What you are suggesting, we need to use crazy language that isn't grounded in reality to inform the public. No, we don't. Actually, no, we don't. Either the public wants to be informed properly, or they should just remain ignorant on their own. But lying to the public, misinforming the public, again, bro, you're new here. If you want to be misinformed, Andy knows your guy, bro. There's content creators for everyone on the internet. If you want to be lied to and misinformed and believe things exist that don't exist and not understand what's going on, then Andy No is a much better content creator for you. I am not going to do that. If you don't want to be informed about what is happening using proper language, then this is not the place for you. Okay? We need to get that clear right now. And arguing is not going to work out in your strong suit. I promise you that. Arguing with me, you're in my classroom, bro. There's a hierarchy here. You are on the bottom. I'm on the top. Okay?
To be protecting. Be assured the Department of Justice and my U.S. Attorney's Office has and will distinguish between lawful protest and criminal conduct. These defendants have been charged not for what they said, but for what they did.
What did they do?
They all joined an agreement, a conspiracy, to interfere with lawful immigration enforcement operations. The conspiracy was not to interfere by their voice, but to do it by force. That's a crime, and it will not be tolerated in the United States. Direct Action Minnesota emphasizes their violent, militant approach to politics and are highly critical of nonviolent, peaceful protests.
Okay.
You see here
Correct.
a Facebook post from one of the defendants, Cameron Kennedy, writing, quote, "We need to become ungovernable."
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
As the name suggests, Direct Action Minnesota is an
Well, and this is the other thing. This is the other thing. Yeah, I don't think the charges are bad for these 15 people. Can we just talk for a second about how Trump has been promising RICO charges for the last year? And finally, Trump arrests people in Minneapolis, and there's no RICO charges. I feel like someone tried to warn everyone a year ago that there were never going to be RICO charges because that's not how Antifa is funded, and that was never going to happen. And I feel like I got raked over the coals by magatards who didn't want to hear the truth and told I was secret Antifa for saying that, and I was a Democrat operative, and all of this bullshit. No, retard. No. The reason there are no RICO charges is because Antifa is funded by mutual aid. The Trump administration lied. The Trump administration had no fucking clue how Antifa was funded. They promised something they couldn't deliver because they were lying from the beginning. This is not because RICO is just too hard, Karlyn. I'm sorry, the Trump administration promised it a year ago, and now you're making fucking excuses because you didn't want to listen the first fucking time? Okay. There's never going to be RICO charges. There never were going to be RICO charges. And yeah, if you don't get it yet, then this is an IQ test, and you might not be smart enough to be part of my audience, okay?
Organization dedicated to direct action against federal law and immigration enforcement. This action is not peaceful, it's obstructive, disruptive, and unlawful. The organization trains its members in the aggressive use of shields against law enforcement, surveillance, operational planning, and rapid mobilization against law enforcement action.
The amount of fucking excuses that MAGA retards will make for the fact that the Trump administration lies to them over and over and over and over and over again, and the amount of excuses that they will make for conservative media and pundits and commentators who lie to them over and over and over and over and over again, when the direct evidence has always been available in public, it is infuriating how many fucking excuses conservatives and magatards will make when they are lied to over and over and over again. And then it becomes abundantly clear that they were being lied to by all the evidence. And they still can't fucking admit that the Trump administration lied to them and misinformed them and told them things were going to happen that were never going to happen because they didn't know what they were talking about in the first place. They will not fucking admit it. It's like their entire identity is wrapped around defending Trump no matter how many fucking lies he tells, and defending everyone in the Trump administration no matter how many lies they tell, and defending every fucking conservative journalist and pundit and commentator that makes money by lying to them. It's infuriating.
Though investigations are ongoing, what we know now is that Direct Action Minnesota is comprised of members of subgroups. For example, the Black Hat Workers Collective.
Oh, that's a good one. I follow them.
Black Hat Workers Collective is a Minneapolis-based Antifa affinity group which advocates, promotes, and utilizes militant tactics and violence. Here you can see.
Yep, I was right again. Thank you, I appreciate you very much. Yeah, actually, this is a group that I have actually been following and paying very close attention to. So again, listen, we give out dubs when dubs are due. They got this one right. Which proves, by the way, that the Trump administration is capable of better research than what they've been doing. But they did get this one correct. So, dub Trump. Bigger dub to Ginny gifting a channel membership. Thank you so much, Ginny. I really appreciate you, my dear.
Facebook cover pages, that their Facebook cover page shows as a banner the burning down of the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd precinct. One of the leaders of...
No way. Can someone please find, can one of the mods please find me this link and put it in the chat? Can one of the mods please find this link and put it in the chat, please? That'd be rad. That'd be rad. I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Direct Action Minnesota, defendant Kyle Wagner, identifies himself as Antifa, and he doesn't shy away from it.
Oh, just so we're clear, and I said this in a little short video that I posted earlier, the reason Kyle Wagner was arrested is because he went viral on Twitter. Again, we just need to be honest about this. Is Kyle Wagner in Antifa? Oh yeah, I think he is. I was covering him. I was one of the people that made Kyle Wagner go viral on Twitter. I was covering him, thank you, bot, when all this stuff was happening. I absolutely do believe that Kyle Wagner is Antifa, but can we be honest about it and say that the only reason that he got arrested is he went viral on Twitter? Because that's all they care about? That looks like it, bot. Thank you. Thank you, average person, as well.
Kyle, I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up. Okay, go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up ready to go.
Wait. Are you serious? They're calling him one of the leaders of Antifa? Yeah, just like Chandler is the leader of Antifa in Portland, right? Did they get this information from Belly Ray as well? That Kyle Wagner is one of the leaders of Antifa in Minneapolis? Has Belly Ray been exported? Oh, they said... Oh, did they? Did I just fucking miss it? I have to listen to this again then. Sorry.
And violence. Here you can see that their Facebook cover page shows as a banner the burning down of the Minneapolis Police Department's 3rd precinct.
Yeah.
One of the leaders of Direct Action Minnesota.
Yep, guys, he's leader of Antifa. Okay. I'm sorry. Wasn't Kyle Wagner arrested months ago? Wasn't one in the chat if Kyle Wagner was arrested literally months ago? 2 in the chat if I'm making that up and he was only arrested today. Wasn't Kyle Wagner arrested months ago? And you're telling me that Trump arrested the literal leader of Antifa in Minneapolis months ago and it didn't change anything? Can we all use our brains for a moment here? If Trump had really arrested the leader of Antifa in Minneapolis months ago, then wouldn't things have changed by now? Wouldn't things have gotten better? Wouldn't things have calmed down? In fact, to my recollection, the organizing only grew after they arrested him. But, you know, guys, he went viral on Twitter, so he must be the leader of Antifa in Minneapolis. Okay. And we're back to square one, where it's, you know, every time the Trump administration gets a little dub, they get a massive L right after it. And so it's like any W that they get is immediately counterbalanced by going right back to square one, by lying to the public again. Kyle Wagner is not the leader of Antifa in Minneapolis, you retards.
Defendant Kyle Wagner identifies himself as Antifa, and he doesn't shy away from it.
My name is Kyle, I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos, doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up, you missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground, Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet, show up, ready to go. Okay?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ginny. That is exactly right.
We're
exactly.
not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was going to happen. This is exactly what I said was going to fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns. Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen.
Literal
Nazis.
Nazis.
People in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
We're not talking about peaceful protests. His words, not mine.
That's true.
During Operation Metro Surge, Direct Action Minnesota infiltrated and exploited lawful protests to more efficiently carry out its unlawful direct actions, targeting operations involving ICE as well as other federal law enforcement, and as well as other state law enforcement.
I think I've been pretty clear about this. Do you, as an expert on this topic, do you think this will be genuinely significant and will have meaningful implications? No. No, it won't. And for every single conservative out there who's saying, well, he arrested 15 people out of 80,000, Karlyn, that's a really good start. It's a good start. No, it's not. No, it's not. Conservatives are like people who let their entire house get infested by ants. And then they realize, holy shit, my house is infested by ants. This fucking sucks. And then they kill one ant or they spray one little group of ants in their kitchen or something. And they go, okay, it's a good start. Problem solved. That's a really good start. I sprayed that one ant right there with the ant spray. But guess what, conservatives? Your whole fucking house is still infested by ants. And if you don't get all of the fucking ants, or at least a vast majority of them, then you have not solved the problem. And it is not actually a good start. So do I think anything significant will happen from arresting 15 people when there are 80,000 plus far-left anti-ICE activists in Minneapolis? And P.S., they didn't even arrest any of the fucking lead organizers? No. No, I don't. No. No.
In order to achieve the ends of the conspiracy, Direct Action Minnesota was highly organized, holding meetings on a regular basis, and engaged in what they called operational security, or OPSEC.
Oh, they've almost found security culture. They've almost figured that out. They haven't quite figured out security culture, but they're getting close. They're getting close. If they had just read the zines these kids are reading, they would have figured out security culture. But we're moving again. Progress.
Includes a focus on 2 days in which Direct Action Minnesota organized and participated in actions against federal and local law enforcement on January 23, 2026, and on March 1st, 2026.
They're arresting people from January and March, guys. It's June. They're arresting people. Guys, you want to know something crazy and fucked up? You want to know something actually insane? If Trump is arresting people from January, think about the math on this. I'm going to give you a weird analogy. Since January, I have lost probably about 55 to 60 pounds. I don't remember exactly what I weighed on January 1st, but I'm telling you, I have lost probably 55 to 60 pounds since January, okay? The amount of time it took me to lose 60 fucking pounds is the same amount of time it took the Trump administration to arrest 15 Antifa activists that have been wreaking havoc all over Minnesota and only all over Minneapolis anyway, and only 15 of them and not 80,000. Why do I feel like I've done more work in the last 6 months than the Trump administration? Why do I feel like I've put in a little bit more effort than the Trump administration? I'm just saying. I lost this weight to be able to go undercover with the left and easier to disguise myself. I literally care more about going undercover with the left and being able to disguise myself than the Trump administration and the entire fuck-off federal government cares about arresting far-left militants that they whine and complain about every single day. I'm just saying. I know it's a weird analogy, but I'm just saying. Well, this is also true. A homeless bum has probably done more work than this administration. That's also probably true as well, yeah. In fact, most of you have probably done more work than the Trump administration as well. If you've been watching my content since January, you've probably done more work than them as well. Congrats. Everyone should get W's in the chat for everyone here doing more work than the Trump administration. W's to everyone.
On those days, Direct Action Minnesota members deployed what they called hard and soft blockades against federal law enforcement, as well as against Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies. Direct Action Minnesota shut down operations at the Federal Whipple Building, a government building just north of the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, and the main hub for several
Ninja Artist. Thank you so much for the gifted channel memberships. W's to you, my dear. Really appreciate it.
Federal agencies. Members of their hard blockade team used vehicles, RV trailers that they would overturn, check hedgehogs, and ice blocks that they would throw at law enforcement to obstruct roads used by law enforcement near the Whipple building in order to impede the movement of law enforcement. Members of their soft blockade team used homemade shields constructed from plastic, wood, and metal to physically resist the efforts of law enforcement and to aggressively break through teams of officers on foot. Direct Action Minnesota members also engaged in what they called commuting tactics, which included identifying, following, surveilling, harassing, and confronting law enforcement officers. Conspiracy members even followed law enforcement officers from locations like the Whipple building, to the officers' homes. For example, as alleged in the indictment on May 4, 2026, defendant Isaac Sant followed federal officers from the Whipple building all the way to Hudson, Wisconsin, where St. Croix County deputies stopped him. Such stalking and other direct actions against law enforcement are criminal, they're un-American, and they'll be met with swift justice. That's why we're here today. To those who choose to threaten or harm federal officers, we will hold you accountable. We will defend federal officers. We will protect the public. We will enforce the law. I want to thank our partners at Homeland Security Investigations for their outstanding work on this case. And I now ask the Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations here in Minnesota, Michael McCarthy, to provide further illumination for us.
Thank you, U.S. Attorney Rosen, for your steadfast partnership. Good morning. My name is Michael McCarthy, and I am the Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations St. Paul. Today's announcement is the result of a thorough and months-long investigation into a deeply concerning trend.
Do I think this will be followed through in other cities? No. Do we have any evidence that it will be followed through in other cities? We don't. Do we have any indication that any other arrests are coming? I mean, maybe they'll say it in this press conference, but no, I have no expectation that this is going to result in anything, honestly.
Coordinated violence targeting federal law enforcement officers and facilities. These acts were designed to create chaos, disrupt operations, and threaten the safety of our officers and our community. Every day, officers and agents kiss their loved ones goodbye, fully aware of the dangers they face as they risk their lives to protect their communities. Each and every one of us in the law enforcement community does so with the ultimate goal of making it home to our families each night. We are sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers. We swore an oath to protect and serve, and we place the public's well-being above our own safety without hesitation and often without recognition. Make no mistake, officers and agents do not have the luxury of deciding when they should and should not do their job. The law is the law. Over the past several months, we have seen organized groups deliberately plan and carry out criminal acts, including assaults, threats, destruction of government property, and efforts to obstruct federal officers. Much of the recent civil unrest in the metro area has been linked to anti-ICE demonstrations. Let me be clear. Peaceful protest is a protected right and a cornerstone of our democracy. We respect and defend
we can watch
that right.
live on Instagram right now.
However, there's a clear line that cannot be crossed. When protest turns into rioting, violence, or criminal activity, it becomes unlawful.
Hang on. We got a live Antifa protest on Instagram right now in Minneapolis. We're going there live.
The police. Today's indictments are nothing more than an egregious and very thinly veiled attack on our right to organize.
It's live.
That's right. This is just the beginning of a slippery slope. Drew already said it, but let me say it again. The greatest contradiction here is that all of these false charges and bullshit indictments, from the 39 cities church protesters to the defendants indicted here today, the killers who murdered Renee Good and Alex Freddie have still not faced an ounce of justice. Someone say shame! Shame! In Minneapolis and St. Paul, we already know the police don't keep us safe. We saw every single day for months that local law enforcement sat on their asses collecting overtime checks instead of actually protecting us and our neighbors from Operation Metro Surge. And when they got busy, what did they do? Nothing. In fact, they actually protected the ICE agents. That's right. Shame. That is why we're organizing for community control of the police. That is why MIRAC has been fighting for real sanctuary policies that actually keep us safe. That is why thousands of Minnesotans set aside their responsibilities, their commitments, and their safety this winter to observe and resist. And if that's a federal crime, they're going to have to write up a lot more indictments. Because these 15 defendants represent every single one of us. These federal charges are serious, but we've seen all across the country that government's cases are falling apart before reaching convictions because they're not legitimate. They are a tactic. They're a tactic to suppress our dissent, to intimidate us, to make us think that we should. Now is not the time to back down. We're at a precipice and we have a responsibility to each other and to ourselves. Now is the time to get organized, to stay vigilant, to resist, and to fight for these charges to be dropped. Yes! All right, if you know it, fill in the blank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12!
They're saying fuck the
9,
police.
10, 11. Fuck 12! 9, 10, 11. Fuck 12!
It means fuck the police, fuck ICE.
La misma porquería.
La poli, la misma porquería.
La poli, la migra, la misma porquería.
Guys, just so you know, Status Quo News is going to be going live allegedly at 6:30, and they seem to be on the ground in Minneapolis. So when Status Quo News goes live, we will go live to them, and we'll just follow this ongoing live coverage, guys. This is outside. Oh, look, the handmaids are there. The handmaids have arrived in Minneapolis. What I actually think is going to happen from these Antifa arrests is it's going to make stuff pop off in Minneapolis.
With ICE, I do want to mention
and stuff never stopped in Minneapolis. Minneapolis has been doing ongoing anti-ICE organizing for months. I mean, they never stopped really. But like this is going to be like a spark that lights a fire, and I think that this is just going to lead to things popping off in Minneapolis. So we're going to do live coverage up until we go into Spy Stream. If there's something live, we'll watch that. We also do have the recordings from earlier today. Sorry if people wanted to watch those, but I think following the live coverage is actually more important.
She was there to help keep her neighbors safe. She was there to protect her own community. And she was thrown to the ground. And she was held down by grown men. She's like this big. And then days later, she was kidnapped off of the street and is now facing up to 10 years in prison for a crime that was committed against her.
Uh-oh. Come back. Come back, Instagram. Come back. Got to give the Instagram a second, I guess.
Team
we're back.
Was crying about how sad it was that ICE agents had to leave their homes every day and kiss their loved ones for what might be the last time. Try being an immigrant who already cannot afford rent, who already cannot afford to pay for their daily living. And you don't know if when you're going to work to try and make ends meet, if that will be your last time seeing your family. Imagine being a child and every single time you get on the school bus or every single time you walk into those school doors, you don't know if that's going to be the last time you saw your parents. Or every time you leave school, you don't know if that's going to be the last time you saw your best friends. Imagine being one of us who are out there every single day fighting against the violence that we saw in the streets. And we didn't even know if we were going to be shot. This repression does not only exist here in Minnesota. There have been huge ICE actions all around the country, and there has been just as fierce of a resistance as we have had here. I want to give a shout out to another case of repression that I know of that's happening in LA.
We have friends in that organization called Centro CSO Community Service Organization, and they organize for immigrant rights in the Chicano barrio of East LA. And they have a member whose name is Nadia Topete, and she is also facing years in prison after resisting the grand jury summoning that came to her door because they are trying to criminalize her protection of her own community. Shame. Also in LA last year, her sister, oh my gosh, why can't I remember her name? Okay, that's embarrassing. But her sister, the Topete sisters are not strangers to this repression. Her sister had her phone snatched by FBI agents while on a walk with her dog. And then another brother who was in the same organization, Alejandro Orellana, was also raided by the FBI and was facing years in prison. But because of the national resistance that we had to those summonings and to those charges were dropped on Alejandro Orellana, and the other Topete sister never, ever faced any charges. So we're going to fight like hell for Nadia. We're going to fight for hell here at home for Isabela Lopez. We're going to fight like hell for the 15 people indicted today. All right, now we're going to move on to our next speaker. We're going to be hearing from an educator who has played a vital role in the stability of the lives of immigrant children as they have faced such terror day in and day out since Metro Surge began and well before that. And so we're going to be hearing from Drake from the Minneapolis Federation of Educators, if he's around here somewhere.
Right behind you.
Oh, there he is.
I was right behind you. Okay, so I'm Drake Myers. I'm a proud preschool educator and a rank and file member of MFE 59. Our kids in schools have been through hell here because of the U.S. government and
Teachers Union.
We had to run kids inside from recess, preschoolers, as an emergency because we heard flashbangs and tear gas in the neighborhood. Schools and school buses were stalked, harassed, and attacked. Students and faculty were kidnapped, even at their jobs. At Roosevelt, outside of the school, they were kidnapped. But we fought back and won! During Operation Metro Surge, every block and every school and every church and every organization of Minneapolis were organizing and fighting back against ICE. And now they've come for one of my union siblings in MFE 59. They came to her house and arrested her this morning. She's someone who's a leader in every fight in the people's struggle.
They arrested a union member, a teachers union
Palestine and against ICE. They want us to be scared and stop coming to protests right now. But they don't know Minneapolis. They don't know St. Paul. We're gonna win and get these charges dropped. The solidarity of ordinary Minnesotans, including members of our union, helped bring Operation Metro Surge to an end, and we will not be intimidated for standing up for truth, justice, or our neighbors. I heard someone say, should we stop coming to protest right now? What do you think?
No! Oh, yeah?
Now is the time for ordinary people to stand up, be in the streets, fighting back, coming together with every different person we know to defend against these attacks. I've seen so many MFE educators, union members here and in Minneapolis fight earlier today, fighting and standing together once again and showing what union solidarity can mean.
Unions!
When I got pepper sprayed earlier, it was an MFE sibling who was the first one to come and help me out. I don't know of a single educator who wants our federal tax money going to pay for bogus charges against those who care deeply and defend our students. We want money for quality public schools, not for a racial terror campaign. We want ICE out now. We want these charges dropped now. We believe no human being is illegal. And so we turned that into a demand. Legalization for all. Legalization for all. I was chanting a lot earlier too, so I might not be able to anymore. But legalization for all. Legalization for all. Legalization for all. Legalization for all.
Legalization for all. Thank you, Drake, for putting your body on the line and giving up your voice for this fight. I have tremendous news. As of right now, all 12 people who had their hearing today have been released.
They've all been released. They've all been released. What the fuck? They've all been fucking released.
I invite you guys to stick around. We've got a couple more speakers on our program.
Bro.
And the next one, I'd like
Winning,
to invite
guys.
a community member named Matt who'd like to share a song
It's
with
over.
us.
My father was a freedom fighter in the 1960s movement, civil rights movement. He was hit in the back of the head with a billy club while marching with John Lewis on Bloody Sunday, Selma to Montgomery. And he used to sing this song a lot in the 60s. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me around, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching to the freedom lane. Ain't gonna let Tom Homan turn me around, turn me around. Turn me round, ain't gonna let Tom Homan turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching to the freedom lane. And he sang this song too. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be an ice slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more crying, no more crying, no more crying over me. And before I'll be Trump's slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Sometimes you just gotta moan. Mm-hmm. 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 We got work to do, y'all. Shut this shit down.
I hope conservative retards realize that insulting these people to own the libs and making yourselves feel superior is not actually going to solve the problem.
Drop them now!
Calling them names isn't going to solve the problem.
We want justice.
Hurling insults at them is not going to solve the problem. I request that people take it a little bit more seriously if you're going to be in my chat. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're not smart enough to be here.
Justice for every single person who has been a victim of ICE terror, of police terror, of terror from any of the government's agencies. We're going to hear a little bit of a more personal story about what happened earlier today with the Grand Marshal. Please help me welcome up Mae from the Anti-War Committee.
They have access. Yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Maeve. I'm an organizer with the Minnesota Anti-War Committee. I would be wearing my keffiyeh right now if it wasn't covered in orange chemicals. I was here this afternoon to try to attend the court hearing. A large group of us were turned away. We were told that the hearing room was full and that there wasn't any opportunity for overflow space. And so we started to rally outside because we wanted to show our unequivocal support of our friends and community members and neighbors inside who are being prosecuted for the crime of keeping their neighbors safe, the crime of being good community members, the crime of standing up to fascism. We were holding the door open and grand marshals, I believe, it was really hard to tell what was going on in the moment, came to the door. They started throwing out, cans of chemical agents. One of my amazing comrades threw one of those cans right back into the building. Yeah.
Comrade.
I was really lucky. I was in the back. My arms are still tingling. Several of my friends who got hit right in the face, in their eyes, are recuperating right now. But I'm glad that we were here, and I think we need to continue to be here until we see justice for Alex Preddy, for Renee Good, for Liam Ramos, for all of the children who have been taken out of our schools. You've heard from a lot of educators today. I teach at a school a few blocks away from here. We need to keep being outside until this is over, because it's not over and it hasn't been over. And I think the one thing I want to emphasize, looking out at everyone here today and recognizing so many faces from so many organizing groups, is these issues are all connected. It is violent US imperialism that drives people to immigrate to the US. It is US intervention that forces people out of their homes. And then when they get to the US, it is the violent US government, the white supremacist US law enforcement apparatus that takes them out of their homes.
The government?
All of these issues are connected. So I want to end with a chant. From Palestine to Mexico. All the walls have got to go.
All the walls. All the borders.
From Palestine to Mexico. All the walls have got to go. All the walls have got to go. Thank you all. None of us is free until all of us are free.
Oh, from capitalism. Almost like they're communist guys.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Our next speaker is going to be from Sunrise Twin Cities. Sunrise did an amazing job throughout Operation Metro Surge, especially leading the noise demos that happen at hotels all throughout the cities and suburbs. But before I invite him up, I'm from SDS, and SDS had our own noise demos that were pretty
Students
cool
for a Democratic Society. That's Antifa right there. That's Antifa.
I don't know if you guys heard, but on the Graduate, right in the middle of U of M campus, ICE was being housed, and in response, students led massive noise demos. On our third one, 67 students and community members were arrested and charged. Shane! We just had our first court hearing pretty recently, but because the city and MPD doesn't have their shit together, we're going to have another pretrial hearing on July 16th at 8:30 a.m. We'd invite you guys all to come out and support us. We've heard from the lawyers that ordinarily in cases like this, the prosecutor would just drop it. And we have it on good word, the prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute. But it's the city, it's Jacob Fry who wants to push these charges through. And the Democrats. Fuck Fry!
They don't like the Democrats.
Fuck Fry! Fuck Fry!
Okay, we got status quo news. We're going there.
Okay, you guys can hear me perfect, guys. We're live here in St. Paul, Minnesota. I stepped away from the camera. We got our mics on today. Live on Status Quo News as well.
We'll go back if they don't make the sound better. because the sound was better on the other one.
Audio's good. Everybody drop a comment. You
No,
guys
the
are watching
audio is
from.
not good. You need to turn it up. Okay, we're going back to the other one, guys. Sorry, this audio is better here.
They want to punish these. It's not that protesting is not a crime. And they want to punish these people for coming out and supporting their community and trying to make themselves feel safer, and that's just bullshit. So again, I invite you guys all to come out to our second arraignment on July 16th, 8:30 a.m. If you're not able to make it, talk to your friends about our case. Let them know. And cases like us, we were not the only people arrested during Operation Metro Surge. Far from it. And all of us need to stand in solidarity because our fight is one fight. So Wes, I want to apologize for co-opting your introduction a little bit, and I'd like to invite you up to speak. This is Wes from Sunrise, Twin Cities.
Thank you so much.
Sunrise Movement.
Okay, so this is actually kind of weird. I'm representing two orgs.
That's
so
great.
Sunrise and Democratic Socialists of America. And I wrote my speech like 20 minutes ago, and I also received a speech for Sunrise like 20 minutes ago. So this might be a little messy. Sorry, guys.
You got this.
Before I start, I also really just want to say this because it's fun. Fuck Pride!
Fuck Pride. They
I
don't like Pride. It's too corporate.
So I have two words. I have two words to describe the last 6 months in Minnesota. The first word is trauma. We all know that this has not been an easy year for the kind at heart. Through the murders of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, and countless other injustices, this has not been an easy year for any of us. The second word, but guess what happens when we come together to recognize our common struggle? My second word is community. It's the community members that come together, that have come together during this past 6 months to protect their immigrant neighbors, whether it's joining a rapid response network, whether it's delivering groceries, whether it's just checking in with your community members. We all did our part in telling our federal government that this shit is not fucking okay. I'm proud to be a member of the DSA, and I'm proud to be a member of Sunrise. I have had so much fun organizing and just meeting people and connecting, whether we are, making trainings for legal observation, whether we're creating programs, to deliver resources to our neighbors, whether it's making just a bunch of fucking noise at a hotel and keeping ice up at night. I urge anyone that isn't part of an org to find their home in an organization, and I'm so happy to call Sunrise and DSA a home for me. Earlier today, 15 fellow activists were indicted for their actions while legally observing and fighting against an illegal Gestapo police force. Shame!
An illegal Gestapo. Okay.
When you come for these
Not
15,
actually.
you come for us all. I get really fucking annoyed when our federal government, the Republican establishment in general, uses the word Antifa as if they're fighting against some, consolidated group of people that are out to get them. No, it's not a fucking organization. It's a movement.
True, actually, true.
It's a movement of.
It is, yeah.
It's a movement of people who believe in actual justice, who believe that we are not a lawless state where mass Gestapo can just kidnap our fucking neighbors. And so that's all I wrote, but I'm going to read off what I received from one of my good friends from Sunrise. So that's what I personally wrote. Mm-hmm. But I feel bad if I didn't read off what she had. So I've been organizing with Sunrise since being able to just do shit with people, just to get your energy out, at the noise demos, we had drum kits, we had guitars with amps, we had people, with brass instruments, and we even had a group of business executives that I'm still not 100% sure if they were supportive of us, but they all came out of the hotel. they must have had a conference in Minneapolis or something, but they came out of the hotel and just like danced to our noise. And it was ridiculous. And I think a couple of them like were strip teasing us as well. You know, that's part of the trauma, so I am forgetting that. But so that's my experience in the last 6 months. But yeah, so this is the statement from Megan, sorry. So Sunrise Movement Twin Cities stands in solidarity with local activists and organizers who have been indicted today. And we condemn the attempts by the Trump regime to quell resistance through fear and oppression. Nonviolent acts of disruption and non-cooperation work. We will not stop resisting in these ways. And these efforts by the DOJ and Trump regime are a sign that the administration is terrified of what we can build and accomplish with local organizing. When we choose to oppose fascism through organizing, we take the risk of being targeted by the authoritarian regime. To us, these risks are worth the work. It's normal for us to be afraid when we take such risks. We choose to acknowledge that fear and keep resisting. Sunrise Movement Twin Cities, in collaboration with the People's Action Coalition Against Trump, and also DSA in collaboration with them as well, and other local groups, we will keep working to build a better world for everyone together. That's all I had to say. I hope everyone could bear with my ADHD and mixing a bunch of things together last minute.
That was great.
Thank you, everyone.
From Palestine to Mexico. Those racist walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. Those racist walls have got to go. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Hey, thank you so much, Wes. Well, we're sort of on the topic of some local politicians. I do want to dig into Murak's campaign for a sanctuary state a little more. Obviously, we know that Jacob Fry posed a major failure to the city of Minneapolis and all the people who reside there. Can we get a big boo for Jacob Fry? The Democrats are not here to save us, and that shows on the state level as well. I will take every single opportunity to point out that Tim Walz at any moment could sign an executive order to ban 287G agreements to turn Hennepin County or any county officials into local ICE agents. Mm-hmm. He could create ICE-free zones, and he could start pushing for justice and reparations for all of the families who were torn apart by Operation Metro Surge, and for all of the people who died or who have been injured as a result of the state and federal sanctioned violence against us.
Yes.
Tim Walz is on his way out. He's not running for governor again, so he has nothing to lose anyways. And we hold these same demands for all of the people who are running for governor now.
No,
especially
it's not.
Miss Amy
No,
Klobuchar.
it's not accurate to call them childish. It would be far more accurate to call conservatives and
I get
MAGA
the impression
retards
from her that
childish
she
than
feels
these
pretty
people.
safe
These
in her
people are
spot there
organized,
as
they are
senator, that
focused,
she'll
they
be
are
a
driven,
shoo-in,
they
but
are
that
committed to what they're
reaction
doing.
tells me
They are
everything that I
highly
need to know,
strategic in
that
every
she is
single
not
thing
the
that they
popular
do.
choice.
So no, it would not be accurate to call them childish at all.
And
In
so
fact,
we
you
do
are
have a
probably the
petition
childish
as
one
the Minnesota
for
Rights
even
Action
insinuating that,
Committee.
and you're just doing it to make yourself
unfortunately
feel
don't have the
superior. And can we
physical
be
one with
honest
me
about
today. I
that?
don't know if any
No,
of our members
stop
are
being an
here to.
idiot.
But if you want to sign our petition, you can be from anywhere in Minnesota, and we're going to use all of those signatures to push for sanctuary state legislation on the state level, no matter who ends up in office after Tim Walz. So you can find that at our website, miracmn.com. Without further ado, I am really excited to announce our last speaker for the night before we can all go get some rest before our next day of resistance.
Oh, they just ended the stream, so let's go to status quo.
Organization.
Oh, their sound's better now. Good. FRSO, Freedom Road Socialist
Hey
Organization.
everybody, I'm really glad to see people out here today. While we were gathering, I was chatting with Monica, a friend of mine who was one of the RNC8. And I don't know if you know their story, but in 2008, there were 8 anarchist organizers who were targeted with Minnesota state anti-terrorism laws, really trumped up charges for their organizing and protests against the Republican National Convention in 2008. That same year, myself and other anti-war organizers started to be surveilled by the federal government, and 2 years later, a grand jury began investigating us. We became known as the Anti-War 23. The reason I'm telling that story is because the government uses terrorism as a word that's supposed to prove, just by saying the word, that the people that they're targeting are wrong, bad, or somehow different than us. But the fact is, the 15 people who were indicted this morning are us. They are rapid responders. They are protesters. They are organizers. They are anarchists. Some of them are socialists. Some of them are, I don't know all of them. It doesn't matter. They are you and they are me. The fact is, the federal government can be trusted to try to silence us. And the only thing we have to beat back their attempts to silence us is to stand together and speak louder, stronger, and together. I want to say that we have seen time and again these federal cases in this period have been intense. Heavy charges coming at people. But I have good news. They also keep falling apart.
That's true,
they
actually.
go for people in LA, from Los Angeles to DC, and all points between. And a lot of these federal cases get dropped. But they don't just get dropped. People fight to force the government's hand. So that's the first lesson, is one, we do fight when ICE comes to town. And then when the feds come behind them to arrest us for organizing, we keep fighting. Am I right?
That's very true, guys. That's not a lie.
The other thing I want to say, the thing that troubled me the most when I was reading the indictment today was the use of a grand jury. And it's something a lot of us aren't familiar with. But as a political movement, we all need to understand that this is a very dangerous weapon the government can use against us. Grand jury sounds like it's the best jury, the most fancy. It is the worst jury. These grand juries are held, there's no judge, there's no defense attorney. The whole proceedings are run by the prosecutor. Attorneys have a saying, they say, a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. Because a grand jury does what the prosecution asks them to do most of the time. And so when we see these indictments coming, whether it's against the city's church protesters or the folks that were indicted today, we don't believe a word about what they are accused of, the crimes that are alleged. What we do believe is that they are us, they stood with us, and they are a part of a very important moment in Minnesota, where Minnesota said no to ICE, no to the targeting of our immigrant neighbors, no to the attempts to silence us through violence or any other repression. Today is so important. Today is so important because they hope that we'll ignore it. They hope that we will think it's not us. But every single person here, we are part of their problem. And put that on your resume, baby, because you are doing the right thing. Keep fighting. Keep standing up. Stand in solidarity. I just want to end. So Freedom Road Socialist Organization is one of many groups in the People's Action Coalition against Trump. We are socialists. We are communists. But the folks arrested today include anarchists and democratic socialists. And it does not matter. We are united. We will not be divided. Am I right? Ain't no power like power. The people got the power. The people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like power. The people got the power. The people don't stop. Ain't no power like power. The people got the power. The people don't stop.
guys, we are watching live footage. Oh, there's some frogs. We are watching live footage outside the courthouse in Minneapolis right now, where it looks like the Antifa people that have been arrested today, or at least most of them, have already been released. And now this seems to be really kind of like firing up the left in Minneapolis. They've been highly active on all social media all day. And I would be surprised if this little arrest that Trump did, which probably isn't going to amount to much of anything, actually is the reason that shit's about to pop off in Minneapolis. It would not surprise me at all. Now, is that to say that Trump shouldn't have arrested them? No, he should have, but he should have arrested far more people, and he should have arrested the actual organizers and not the low-level kind of foot soldiers. And had Trump done that, maybe things would be in a little bit of a different position. If he had arrested like thousands of people rather than 15 out of 80,000 plus activists, maybe that would have been something. But as it is, it seems as though this is lighting a fire under the left's ass, and it's going to give us some entertainment. So we're going to watch this for about 45 more minutes or so. We do have a spy stream coming up at 8 p.m. tonight. So if you want to give out some channel memberships or get a channel membership yourself, you can join us to go inside a live leftist organizing call. It starts at 8 p.m. tonight, but I got to shut this stream down a little early to be able to set up for that. Spy stream is a supporter exclusive. Unless you have a YouTube channel membership, a Substack membership, a Locals membership, Patreon membership, or Twitter subscription, you will not be able to come. So you have about 40 more minutes to get that stuff in order. And I would love to get 100 channel memberships given out on the stream today if you guys appreciate the coverage, if you appreciate my takes on it, if you appreciate that I'm forcing conservative retards to hinge back into reality and not accept the lies that the Trump administration is telling. Please feel free to show your gratitude, and we will get more people into Spy Stream later, and that will be awesome.
12 people were released today. The 12 that are able to be released today, they are all out, so we don't expect anyone else today. There is a 13th person who they are still holding for some stupid process reason who will not be released today. Say shame to them. And there are still 2 people that they are after. And no matter what the timeline is of their arrests, of their charges, of their court dates, all of that, we will be back here with them. Is that right? This also isn't the end of the repression we're going to face. And so when I see that one of you is in court, and if any of you see that I'm in court, or anyone who's not here, we're gonna be right back here. Is that right? Because who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. 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 Fuck eyes! Thank you, everybody. Get home safely. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for showing out.
They're wrapping
showing
up.
Showing out. I hope you guys all.
We got other stuff we can watch, guys. All good.
All right, guys, check in quick. We'll talk to some people.
Okay, Status is going to interview people.
BSA event's over, but so earlier today, ICE agents are actually U.S. Marshals, from what I saw in the video. I was not out here personally, but they came out without warning and just started pepper spraying and used less than lethal munitions on the crowd. And you guys can still see there's markings on the building from that situation earlier today. Happened about 2:30, 3 o'clock Central Time. And U.S. Marshals came out in full force, threw protesters around, and came out with the pepper spray heavily.
Yeah, there's way more than 15 people there. So whoever said that,
Yeah.
like, honestly,
Still
shut the fuck
spray
up.
splatter from the federal agent spray, that mace spray that many of us have experienced now for covering any type of action or government action in the streets of the United States. You've been hit with some form of spray. Seems the U.S. Marshal Service uses the same type of spray that ICE agents get to use. That's the scene from earlier today. Some of the crowds dispersing a little bit. I would like to talk to a couple of our...
Yeah, go interview people, please. Status quo. Go interview people. I want to hear from the leftists.
You guys want to talk quick? Yeah. Both of you, all of you, everybody. Let's start with, there you go. Let's start with Red Witch first. All righty. Hi. Nice to meet you. Oh, wow. Well, let's talk.
A lawyer representing protesters. Okay.
All right, Red Witch. Here we are again. We're in St. Paul. What brings you out here?
Red Witch.
Well, they arrested some of my friends this morning, and by they I mean HSI came and did raid style arrests at people that I know's houses. I was unsure if I would be on that indictment list until they unveiled the indictment, and I was not on it. So at that point, I came to do court support for my friends because the only things that we're guilty of are trying to defend our neighbors. We have never attacked people. We have never tried to injure people. We have done nothing but prepare, I guess they're calling them defensive weapons now, but gas masks and goggles and things like that. But that is the hardest thing that we've done, and they're trying to come for us for that. And so we showed up here to stand up for the people inside, and they heard us in the courtroom, which is amazing. And they're out now with conditions. So we will see, you know, with the Righteous 39, we saw them do multiple waves. And so who knows, you know, if they're going to be making more of these lists and doing more of this. But this is absolutely the initial push on trying to get our rapid response networks to shut down because they are so effective.
What are you hearing from those
Yeah,
that
it's
have
not
been
going to work, by the way.
indicted
There's
today
no
and
way.
those were released? What you can talk about?
I haven't talked to most of them personally. One of them did send me a message that they saw the protests and that they're very grateful for the support and that they love us. And but I think a lot of them are probably scared of the charges, but also ready to fight it. Everybody knew what we were facing. All of my, like, the people in there, they knew what they were facing when they took this on. And we're facing fascists who will bend the law to imprison us.
You
And
hear that,
so
Master
that's what
Shake?
we're seeing.
Why do you think it's important to continue showing up? Because you're at the Whipple building, which is, you know, in Minnesota here, but you were also just at Delaney Hall in New Jersey. And now here you are outside the federal building in St. Paul. What keeps you going to come out here?
I don't know how to stop. Because when I see people being harmed and I see people's rights being taken away, it's really hard for me not to get involved. So like going out to Delaney, I wanted to actually see what a detention center was like and feel the feeling of standing where people have already been imprisoned, whereas here in Minneapolis, we have been and still are fighting for them not to be taken in the first place. So I wanted to see the differences here. We have our Appleton facility that's getting set to open up here. And I think that we need to be prepared to defend our neighbors. And we can't let them scare us out of that, regardless of what charges they try to stick on people. We have seen the evidence time and time again not weigh in on their side, and the charges continually be dropped. Remember, the process is the punishment.
What do you think the community needs most right now?
Solidarity and caring for each other. Right now is the time to not get scared and lose all your contacts and leave each other.
Is Mercado
It's the time
actually
for everyone
streaming
to
for
come
status
together
quo?
because there's strength in numbers.
I know
and
he's
that
also on
is
his
how
own
we
stream, but
Thank you so much. And then introduce yourself one more time and
Okay.
how they can follow your work too, because you're out there on the streets doing work.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's
I'm
Mercado.
Emily Phillips. If you search me on most platforms, or Red Witch, REDW period TCH333.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's actually have you put this on where you're most comfortable.
Okay, you can't ask me questions about the church.
Okay, I got you. No problem. It'll just be like similar to that.
It
you
is
know?
Mercado?
Well, first of all, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm
That's
Carrie
wild.
Brunko. I'm a civil rights and criminal defense attorney in the city of Minneapolis.
Oh, you're right. It's the same
And
stream.
I represent greater Minnesota area.
What brings you out here today in St. Paul?
Fascism. And this is
Fascism.
fucked up.
Yo, Dan!
People who have stood up
W's, bro,
against their
thank you.
government
Welcome
for
to
the
the
right
10
things
members.
are now being charged in criminal conspiracies, which is an absolute abrogation of power.
What motivates you to do what you're doing with your work? Because obviously you're really able to kind of get in there and fight. You're supporting the protests out here, but you're also able to get into the courtroom, you know what I mean, and kind of fight
Hot.
with the legal battle. What keeps you going on
You
that?
black
what
trans
keeps you fighting
Latinx. W's to you. Appreciate it, bro.
Honestly, I
You
think-
rock.
I want to say this the right way, and I'm going to say this for the first time in my life. I think we've left the law. I think part of my heartbreak is that we're no longer dealing with a system that I understand and that I've studied and that I can control. I think that people who care about their neighbors, who care about their community, are now being criminalized. And that is something that we all need to pay attention to. And if we're not paying attention to it, I think we need to pay attention to why.
Absolutely. What are you seeing out here with the federal agents? Because you were out here earlier today, right?
I was out here earlier today. So this is my courthouse. I have been here since 2015. I was a federal clerk before I became an attorney. I moved here to be a federal clerk. This is my house. You know, this is where I spend a lot of my time. And to come out here with zero warning and launch a bomb that pepper sprayed a bunch of people that were protesting peacefully against overreach of government oppression is absolutely disgusting to me. It is why a lot of us became attorneys. It is why a lot of
Antifa
us
are
decided to
lawyers, guys.
practice
They
law,
have jobs.
and it is why we need to be standing up 100% against this. The U.S. Marshals that are in here running security have known me for 10 years. I say good morning to them almost every morning. They know me as a baby lawyer. They know me today. They know me as going out on my own and starting my own practice. And I made eye contact with them after this bomb went off. And I know that some of them feel a certain way about coming out here with zero warning to allow dispersal before setting off tear gas on innocent civilians that are protesting peacefully.
Why do you think the U.S. Marshals did that? Because usually we see ICE agents.
I don't think the U.S. Marshals did that. I think
Okay.
the ICE agents did that. I think they were gearing up to do that for a while. I was very lucky enough. I had a friend who gave me a heads up that they were starting to put on masks. And I literally said to my friend, as he gave me the heads up, that, well, they'll say you've got to disperse before we do this. And then they chose not to. The U.S. Marshals did not do that. ICE agents
That's a
did,
shame.
but I know
That
that
is
the
such a
Marshals saw it
shame,
happen.
guys.
What's your message to people that are still using their voice out against the federal government? Or
Keep
against...
going. You're not insane and you're not alone. This is happening and it is designed to make you feel lonely, and it is designed to make you feel like you're the only person who sees what you are seeing. And that is not true. There are a bunch of us out here. I know I'm standing out here with a bunch of people that feel the same way.
Absolutely. And then your final message.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well,
Care about your
I'll talk to
neighbors?
you. I'm going to talk to him separately entirely. But
Love your neighbors. That's all we have. And if you believe in our Constitution, if you believe in our Bill of Rights, if you believe in our way of government,
Oh, Mercado's got his watermark on Status Quo
trust your
News.
gut when you see
That's
things
funny.
that are
Okay, W.
incongruent with
Mercado.
that, and use the right words. It is okay to say the word fascism. Is it okay? It is okay to say the word concentration camp. You are not being alarmist. You're being aware.
absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And one more time. Your name?
My name is Carrie Brunko, and I am the founder of Lotus Legal, and I represent criminal defendants and civil rights. People whose civil rights have been abrogated.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. That was really good. It's kind of like an interview carousel, guys. Wherever you're comfortable.
All right.
And then introduce yourself.
I'm Bradley the Buddhist. You might know me as Bradley the Buddhist 2 on TikTok. My original account got banned because I've heard about this at the last second. When I showed up, there was a pile of OC or pepper spray that was on the door. People surrounded me. I wasn't sure why this happened. But we're in downtown St. Paul. This is not an area where this is known to happen. It's usually at the Whipple Building. Actually, I saw Andrew in New Jersey not that long ago. He was covering, and so was I. So this is really funny that I saw him here, but it's reminiscent of that a little bit, I guess, where they just kind of dismiss that they're in a public place. It doesn't matter. It's funny that they describe the violence that protesters are using against them, but they don't describe the violence that they're doing against protesters at all. Why is that? I think y'all should answer that question yourselves. But I guess the reason why we're here is it's pretty obvious. I mean, our First Amendment is getting trampled on, and if you're a veteran or if you care about the Constitution, you should be here. You should be at all these protests because this is interconnected, and we're fighting for the same thing. So I guess the one thing I would say in coming away from this is try to establish community. We're in this age where we're just isolated, and that's what they want. So as soon as we start to talk to your neighbors about what's happening to them, then you can establish that community again, establish trust again. We don't have to rely on cops, which this is what's happening with any type of law enforcement. So
what are you seeing from city to city? I mean, we've been in Minneapolis, we're here in St. Paul, it's the Twin Cities, it's our home here. But we also saw it escalate in New Jersey on the side of the law enforcement. What are you seeing? Like, what are you seeing between the state level and the federal level?
That's a good question. Well, at first, when you're in Jersey, I guess the ICE agents originally were, they pepper sprayed and they were taking this is not something we saw in Minneapolis, but they're taking the batons out and wildly swinging at us, to the protesters, and they struck a woman on her head. I remember they're pushing people out in front of semi trucks. We saw a guy with his leg get crushed. So in that aspect, yeah, that was pretty normal. I thought that was normal of ICE agents to do. But then when Mickey Sherrill called the state police and brutalized people under the guise of protection because people were protesting these First Amendment zones that they were creating, moving and dispersing wherever they wanted to, which is kind of the opposite of the First Amendment. But the difference being not that much, other than I guess the state police use shields and rubber bullets primarily, and ICE would use a lot more pepper spray and batons. So I guess the level of brutalization is the same, but the difference lies in how they do brutalize people. So
exactly, just like they did today. I mean, we saw the same type of force. It reminded me of Delaney Hall when the videos I had seen, because I didn't make it down here yet, but I'm here now. But when they came out without notice, it was very similar to the ICE agents in Delaney Hall, where they would just bomb them, they would just start rushing people.
And I don't know if this is a directive from their higher ups or something, or a directive from the President Trump. Who knows? But I know that they're amping up their brutality. And and Andrew can tell you just as much as I can, because we were from here, that this didn't start this way. It didn't. I think right away, after the initial murder of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, when they started, that's when they were doing it at full force. And then they de-escalated a little bit, but now they're not scared anymore to do this stuff in public. Like I said, in downtown St. Paul, in front of the federal building, throwing tear gas at protesters. Again, this is the whole problem. They're shitting on the First Amendment.
So a lot of people argue that there's still a fight for the First Amendment. Where are you at with that? Do you feel like we have free speech, or do you feel it's controlled, or what's your perspective on
well, how do we define free speech? Like, what is free speech? Is it what they dictate, where and when they can? I'm just saying, real free speech isn't where some hierarchical figure can determine where it is and when it happens. This is why I get so irritated with protests here, specifically when they're in specific time slots, in specific areas, dictated by wherever the mayor says. That is not a protest. That is a parade. What are we doing if we can't protest at when we want, where we want? That is the opposite of the First Amendment. So that's my whole feeling on the thing. And this is easy to see. Again, are you a veteran? If you're a veteran, you should be here right now. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
If you're a veteran, you should be here because there are leftist veterans, guys.
What's your final message? You're next. You're next.
Yeah.
What's your message to people at home that might feel intimidated by today's indictments or what the federal government's doing?
Don't be scared of this. There's so many people that are behind you. And like I said, the community that you meet within these atrocities is beautiful. It is the lotus that comes from the mud, is what I like to say. Thich Nhat Hanh quote. So I sort of look at the beautiful things that can come out of atrocity, and establishing community again is the biggest key, I feel like, for anybody doing this. And you do that by going to these things and meeting the helpers. Mr. Rogers used to say, find the helpers. I think that's great advice for anyone.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Bradley. Yeah. Thank you so much. Oh, shout out yourself one more time.
Oh, Bradley the Buddhist on Instagram, Bradley the Buddhist 2 on TikTok. I'm out doing protests all the time. I always see Andrew. He's a pioneer of doing this, and he's always out here, and I respect and admire him greatly. So follow Andrew, obviously.
Thank you. We're also live on Status Coup right now. I'm doing Status Coup. Yeah, and they do great work too. It's Status Coup.
I love Status Coup.
Ed, you're up next, I believe.
I'm exhausted. I apologize ahead of time.
You're good. Let me get you.
Thanks for being a channel member for 7 months, bro. Appreciate you.
However you want to stand.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you want?
What are you doing out here?
Oh, I'm out here.
Introduce yourself.
Ed Higgins, aka Ed Human, aka the Ice Hunter on Twitter. Not
the
Weird Universe.
Ice Hunter.
My wife tells me I should keep a low profile, so this is a low profile. Thank you to Mercado Media for always being out here, by the way.
Absolutely. What are you doing out here?
So what I'm doing out here is I was actually doing my taxes, and I figured I'd go and show up support for people who have been unjustly kidnapped by the federal government once again on some trumped up charges about shields. And what I saw was 4 agents inside, ICE agents. I don't know. One of them had a gas mask, so I walked away for a little bit. I go to come back, and they're throwing tear gas canisters at people's heads right at the door here.
I don't see a problem
people
with
are
that.
getting all types of mangled and whatever. So I came here to just protest, and I ended up in the middle of fucking stupid war zone at a federal building, this should never happen at a federal building, by the way. This shouldn't happen anyway, but it should never happen at a federal building. Never mind for optics. It's just the rule of law is supposed to hold us all down. And if there's no rule of law, there's no accountability. This whole thing falls apart. And they as soon as they did that, by the way, they threw the gas canisters. They couldn't even close the door. So they need to work out more. But they couldn't even close the door. And then they just slithered away and disappeared. And nobody knows where they are. They just fucking took off.
Does it remind you of any of the actions you've seen from other federal agents during Operation Metro Surge?
Every one of them, because they're slimy. They just do some stupid shit like spray from their window and then run away. These guys, they're all cowards. They have no courage. They know they're doing wrong because they run away. As soon as they do something, they run the fuck away. I saw this happen a lot of times with paper checks. When they were doing paper checks on the streets, they were just grabbing somebody, slamming up against window, asking for papers, and then slithering off to wherever the fuck they go at night. Some fucking rock they crawl under.
What's the update on your situation, if you can talk about it, with
actually,
agents?
I didn't get any charges. I got released that night, no charges, because the BCA and the governor proved that I did nothing wrong.
Explain the context.
No. Thank you for being a member of the channel for 4 months. 15 is not a good start. That's like saying, and I made this analogy earlier, but probably you weren't here, saying that arresting 15 people who are low-level Antifa foot soldiers out of 80,000 plus far-left activists in Minneapolis alone, that's like saying that you have a giant ant infestation in your house and the ants are fucking everywhere and you can't go into any of your rooms without encountering ants and you can't sit on any of your furniture without encountering ants and you can't eat any of your food without encountering ants, but you take a can of like ant spray and you spray one little corner of your kitchen and then you go, good start, Antifa or Ants L, me W, because I got that little corner in the kitchen, but the ants are still all over the fucking house. So no. We are not advancing this retard talking point that it's a good start because that's fucking stupid. Okay? Yes, they've already been released. And so we'll see if any of the charges actually stick. I'm inclined to believe they won't stick. But thank you for being a member of the channel for 4 months. I really hope you consume more of my content in the next 4 months so you learn what a retarded talking point this is. Okay? We are watching live coverage on Status Quo News, guys. We're going to be doing this for about another 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to be going into Spy Stream. Still got 14 channel memberships to meet our goal for today. If you want to get 14 more people into Spy Stream, that would be rad, but we're just hanging out watching live coverage right out of Minneapolis right now.
For a little bit, because the point of all this is to tire us out so that we accept the fascism. Once you accept the fascism, it's over. You have to continue fighting, no matter what. Fight any way you can, but fight. And that's my message. Just continue the fight.
Shout yourself out one more time.
Ed Human, Ed Higgins. Thank you to the Mercado supporters, by the way, that went to my website and bought edibles. We're still working on licensing stuff, so the payment option isn't working right now. But thank you all to supporting my edibles. You can get them in Wisconsin for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Bro sells on edibles.
For sure you can.
Not sure I would buy
I don't want
those.
to be on camera, huh?
Not sure I would buy those at all,
Yeah.
actually.
What do you got?
I don't know if anybody's covered this.
Oh, who's
anyway,
this?
As a lifelong resident of Minnesota,
Yo, Ceiling Cat.
we're
W.
standing in
Thank
front of
you.
the
You
Warren
rock.
Burger
Appreciate it,
Federal
especially after I
courthouse.
gave you a good dressing
Now,
down. Appreciate
the
it.
actions of these ICE agents and marshals today. Chief Justice Warren Burger is rolling over in his grave right now. You disgraced that man. And if
I
any
don't
of
want
you inside
solidarity
this
edibles.
building
No,
know him,
No.
he would have never tolerated what you pulled today. So you dishonored that man and his family that still lives here in Minnesota, his daughters, his grandkids. Yes, you disgraced him.
Who is he
And I
talking
hope he haunts
to?
you for the rest of your lives, because I know I'm going to.
Who's he talking
That's
to?
all I got.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. What a good guy. Great guy there. Just wanted to say that. All right, we got do you have a name, sir? You just wanted to say that? Yeah. Yeah.
It's Tom Edwards.
Tom Edwards. You want to ask a couple more questions? Is that okay? Just a couple more, Tom.
I don't care.
Just a couple. So, sir, you were in the Marine Corps.
No, I was United States Navy. I was in the Seabees.
When you see the actions of those ICE agents, could we do that in the military? I served in the Army for 10 years. When you see that through a military lens and what we went through in the service, could we behave in that manner?
No. Well, no. Let me
talk about
preface
that.
this
Yeah,
because when I was in, I started my Navy career in Beirut, Lebanon in 1981. I ended it after the Second Gulf War. And in between all of that was the Achilles Laurel and a bunch of stuff. So and when I was in, and my superiors, no, you couldn't have done that. If you did, you'd have been at office hours, standing in front of the old man explaining why you were doing that. Christ, just having too much to drink and getting stupid, you were standing in front of them.
Yeah.
It was a time when we had to be at our best because we were ambassadors to the United States everywhere we went, whether we were in uniform or not, period. Nowadays, when you look at the Secretary of Defense, Hegseth, whom I hope never comes back to this state again, and you look at the I hate to say this, the president, Trump with the small t, you can probably get away with just about anything. It doesn't seem to me that the superior officers really give a shit, because I'm watching what they're doing now.
Right.
And I don't think they actually understand that we're ambassadors.
Yeah.
We're supposed to represent this country.
I agree.
And they're not doing that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not knocking all you servicemen and women. Trust me, I'm not. But if you're part of that group, you better wake up and realize what you're doing.
I agree.
And
sir.
if you're not, thank you. I know December 22nd of 2025, I was arrested by ICE and Hennepin, West St. Paul Police Department for shadowing ICE agents in West St. Paul. I was the first person in Minnesota to be arrested.
Wow. Oh,
And
yeah?
I've been 4 times since. I've been locked up.
So you're telling me this guy's been arrested four
nights-
times and he never
4
stopped?
nights was the longest. I'm dealing with Hennepin County Sheriff's Office now. They've arrested me I don't know how many times. They took my truck out of my driveway, towed it right out of my house, took me out of my driveway. 4 cops had to grab me, all kinds of stuff. So I've been in this since December 22nd. I was in the shower. I got a message. They're stealing people. I got dressed, went and found them, and told them to get the hell out of my city. They pulled their guns on me, had them at my head, called West St. Paul Police Department. 4 of them took me down, arrested me, blah, blah, blah. And it's been since. And they won't put me in court with anybody else. They put me by myself. For whatever their reasoning is, I don't know. And I don't care.
Right.
I got my lawyers and I'll keep going.
Right,
They
right,
can't scare me.
right.
So I'm out at the Whipple building daily, damn near every day. Have been since December 22nd, and I'm not stopping. They can't tire me out. They're going to just have to, I can't run. So they either.
So guys, you're telling me this guy just keeps getting arrested over and over and over and over and over again, and nothing ever happens, and he still keeps doing everything he's been doing? Wow, imagine my shock. The problem is, guys, these people need to get thrown in fucking jail, and they need to be kept in jail. That is the main issue. They need to be kept in jail. Because the problem is, if they are not in jail, they are out organizing and doing activism. The purpose of arresting them is to prevent them from doing organizing and activism. And if they just get let out of fucking jail as quickly as they get put in there, and by the way, can we remember that January 6 people got put in jail fucking indefinitely? So why can't these people suffer the same fate as the January 6ers? Why are these people arrested and then immediately fucking released? And don't give me any bullshit about the judges. Trump has all the power of the federal fucking government. They made the January 6 people sit in jail for how long? They can do the same thing with these people. They're not doing it because Trump is a massive pussy fucking coward that refuses to do what is required. So as long as these people are out, they will be doing activism. They will be doing organizing. There is no deterrence. They are not afraid. They don't care if they go to jail. Someone said to me earlier on Twitter, oh, they're going to turn state's evidence. I don't think that they are, because I don't think they're afraid of any of this. So what needs to happen is thousands of them need to be arrested and thrown in fucking jail indefinitely, not let out a couple hours later. That's my opinion. 1 in the chat if you agree with me, 2 in the chat if I'm wrong.
Get the fuck out of here, sex offender!
Who the fuck is that?
That's Tom Evans said. He actually worked with Zach X for a while, guys, but he's a convicted sex offender.
Wow. They don't like him. Oh, is that guy they attacked like earlier this year? That's that guy that ran for governor or something? Okay, so the deal with this guy is he's like a local guy that like ran for governor or something, and they don't like him because he's a convicted sex offender, which really derails the right's arguments about all these people being pedophiles because they don't like this guy at all. And every time he shows up at some local thing, they basically chase him away and they make it so he can't talk to people by blaring horns at his face and stuff like that. That's what you're seeing right now. He's not on the right. He's just someone they do not like and they do not want around because he's a convicted sex offender. W. Shigalogo! Thank you so much for the gifted channel membership. Guys, can we hit our 100 channel membership goal? We only have 7 more. And we have like 10 minutes. Can we hit the channel membership goal in the next 10 minutes? That would be awesome if we could.
Best thing is, because I'll whoop fucking Bobino's ass in a minute.
Here, let's do this in our last 10 minutes. Let's watch some stuff that's been coming out of Minneapolis on Instagram. Since they're just following that guy around and making noise, let me just go to my bookmarks on Instagram because I've been bookmarking a lot of this shit. So let's just very quickly, rapid fire, go through stuff that leftists have been posting on Instagram. W's to you, Ninja Artist. Thank you so much for that gifted channel membership. Guys, we only need 6 more to meet the goal. It would be rad if we got there. Maybe there'll be a couple heroes in the chat today. We'll see. Let's see what's going on. This is outside the courthouse.
Fuck you! Fucking asshole!
Yo, come on! Thank you, W! Thank you! They threw her right back in and got beat in the face with that shit. Oh, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. Let's keep going.
Just departing from protesting happening at the St. Paul Federal Courthouse after 15 protesters from the Twin Cities were charged this morning at the Minneapolis site for Department of Justice. The arraignment happened, or is happening now. 5 individuals are prepared for being released. There were 2 individuals that were released on condition.
I'm funded by Soros, guys. W's to you, George Soros. Thank you.
Go. 2 of our local lawyers that are representing the defendants pro bono, exceptional and important community service.
Representing them
gave an
pro
update
bono.
on this.
Free lawyers.
One of the
Free
conditions,
Antifa.
because the charges are for conspiracy, is that the defendants are not allowed to communicate at all with each other. They are not allowed to protest on federal property.
Well, that's good.
What I
Rare W.
we had a nice sizable gathering of protesters there at the St. Paul DOJ site. They're assembling there. Mirak is, I believe that's who said it, hard with a lot of information moving around. They are holding a rally there in downtown St. Paul in front of that DOJ site at 5 p.m. So the protesting demonstration will be going on. If my voice sounds a little hoarse, that would be because, let's see, it was around, it was before 2 o'clock. Was it before 2 o'clock? Doesn't matter. They're earlier in the afternoon. Federal agents, a bunch of us.
We already know this. Let's keep going. We're going through Instagram stuff.
Department of Homeland Security is here arresting people
I work
today.
for Homeland Security.
You do? Do you work for Homeland Security? Oh, interesting. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, they're doxing
We
people.
deal with Klan members and Nazis.
Okay, that's fun.
Department of Homeland
Antifa
Security's
doxing
here.
people.
America's so fucked that in the midst of getting aid for another country that America is sanctioning really to death, this happens in our backyard. ICE agents storming out of a building that is the public's building because the feds invaded 15 houses of people that were legal observers to unlimited amounts of ICE crimes here in Minneapolis during Operation Metro Surge, but the people that committed the crimes, the ICE agents, haven't even been charged. So while trying to bring aid to a country that America's trying to destroy, we're simultaneously also occupied. Obviously, the continuation of the white settler colonial project, it's our responsibility to make this shit crumble. America's so fucked that in the midst of getting...
So I've got some updates here in St. Paul, Minnesota about the 15 who are arrested. They are all being released with conditions with the exception of one person. And that one person, I'm being told, is because they just simply were arrested later than everyone else. So they're not getting processed before the federal courthouse is closing, and that sucks. Behind me, you'll see across the street, there's some like news cameras, people waiting. That's because one of the conditions is they can't talk to media on these premises of this federal courthouse. Another one of the conditions is they can't speak to each other. Any of the people who were arrested can't speak to each other, with the exception of 2 people who were arrested that were roommates. So they figured they can't enforce that. But everyone else, they can only communicate through counsel, meaning a lawyer. I got some interviews. I'm gonna go home and post. Right now you see behind me, there's a very loud and large crowd rallying.
You guys see how quickly leftist social media is able to get these updates out? If you aren't following, like if this is something you're interested in, get on Instagram and just start following leftist socialist accounts in all of the major cities that are doing the ICE organizing, because this Instagram is a giant fucking rabbit hole. It is one of the primary, I know people think the left only uses Blue Sky. No, they use Instagram way more than they use Blue Sky. Instagram is one of their main organizing platforms. So, like, can you guys see how quickly, how many people they have on the ground posting these updates? I mean, I'm just showing you a couple things that just happened to pop up in my Instagram feed that I wanted to go through real quick.
They are all.
Hey, y'all, I know I haven't been posting in a while, but I just want to let you know today justice in Washington, D.C. still stood. My charges for protesting at the White House have been dropped.
Oh, he's talking about something else. Never mind. Oh, here's that woman from earlier.
It pisses me off, obviously. It's absolutely wrong.
We already saw that. Unicorn riot, unicorn riot.
Breaking news from here in Minneapolis to St. Paul, Twin Cities, Minnesota. The first 5 have been released with conditions. They said no bail, no detention. This is regarding the 15 activists who were arrested this morning for...
I know that.
So on January 28th of this year, former Attorney General Pam Bondi came to town for a propaganda show. And the purpose of her propaganda show was to announce the charges against 22 people who had been arrested by ICE and released previously. And they were all trotted through this courthouse and through the courthouse in St. Paul and had their photos taken. Their photos weren't digitally altered in a demeaning and racist way, the way the photo of Nikema was, but their photos were posted in this demeaning way with lies about them.
Okay.
And then their cases started to go through the legal system. They were defended by many of the people standing around me. We had judges that at least stood up to the false charges. Over half of those charges have already been dismissed outright. They were based on lies. They were based on false information. They were based on violation of judicial orders. And now today, 15 more people are going to go through that process. And the same thing will be true of the charges that the people are facing today. I was just up in the press conference held by United States Attorney Daniel Rosen. It was a propaganda show. He talked that people were being prosecuted for their acts, not their thoughts, and then recited their thoughts. Somebody posting that we need to become ungovernable. What's wrong with being ungovernable by a fascist government? But I want to be clear today, I also want to speak as a lawyer and talk about the particular legal moment that we're in and that this country is in. The announcement today is not about law enforcement. Even if you believe all the allegations made, this is the type of stuff that gets prosecuted as misdemeanors in state court, not as federal felonies with a coordinated propaganda show by the U.S. Attorney. This is not about law enforcement. This is an act of political repression. It's designed to punish and intimidate. It's designed to target the opponents of this administration based upon their thoughts and their politics, just as President Trump announced back on September 25th of 2025, when he labeled Antifa an ideological belief, wildly diverse. He labeled it a domestic terrorist organization, a designation which does not exist in law, and called for the full weight of the federal government, federal law enforcement, to target people because they had beliefs that he thought were anti-American, anti-Christian, or anti-capitalist.
We will not be intimidated.
Well,
anti-capitalist.
That's what's happening now, and that's what Daniel Rosen, the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota, announced today. The same Daniel Rosen who saw mass resignations from his office when instead of investigating and prosecuting the murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, he called for investigations of their family and friends for the same charges that he announced today. Impeding ICE, impeding the kidnapping of our neighbors, impeding the use of tear gas in our neighborhoods,
impeding the breaking of windows on lawful constitutional observers. That's what they announced today. The same U.S. Attorney, Daniel Rosen, who's done nothing to hold the murderers of Alex Preddy and Renee Good to account. The same Daniel Rosen overseeing an office that has repeatedly violated judicial orders, misrepresented law and facts in court, brought prosecutions based on lies by ICE agents, and which has been forced to dismiss the vast majority of cases it has brought to date. That's what this is about. It's about furthering a false narrative, the lies of ICE agents, and attacking the political opponents of a budding fascist government. That's right. We call today for the community at large and the legal community in particular to form an anti-repression task force.
An anti-repression task force. Thank you, Natina Kocha.
Than defending individual cases in court, as more than responding to the crises thrust upon us by the invasion of our community and by the abuse of federal law enforcement. We need to see this as a broader political act of repression that it is, and which has been going on in this community since December. I also have a message that we must share, all of us, with our state and local elected officials. Whatever you may have thought of federal law enforcement in the past, its true role is now crystal clear. Our state and local law enforcement agencies, yes, they failed to protect us during Operation Metro Surge.
Yo, thank you,
They facilitated the abuses of ICE. But it is time more than ever now that they're going after people.
Community means comrades. It means
based on their
socialists.
political opinion, to cease all local and state cooperation with all federal law enforcement agencies. Not just ICE, not just the Department of Homeland Security, not just Homeland Security, but every federal agency is being drugged into this project of building fascism. The National Lawyers Guild has fought it since 1937.
Okay.
We will
Okay. Guys, as much as I would like to continue with this, we do have a spy stream to get to. We are going inside a live leftist organizing call in about 15 minutes. The best way to get a ticket into this call is to head over to my Substack. That is Karlyn, Karlyn, .substack.com, and signing up for a membership. You can find the information right there on the homepage. If you are one of the 100 people who've been just gifted a channel membership on YouTube, what you need to do to find the spy stream is to go to my YouTube channel homepage, click on the post tab, and at the very top, when you are a channel member, you will see a link to Spy Stream at the very top. I am not a channel member on this particular account that I'm looking at, so you don't see it there. But if you have a YouTube channel membership, you will find the link to Spy Stream there. If you are a Twitter subscriber, you will find it there. If you are a Patreon supporter, you will find it there. And if you are a Locals member, you will find it there as well. So if you're a supporter on any of those platforms, you are welcome to come to Spy Stream. Tonight, we're going to be listening to a presentation. It's a live leftist organizing call about fighting fascism on the 4th of July. I also want to tell people that Jennifer and I have mutually decided to cancel Disenraged tonight because Jennifer has a big editing project. We just decided this like 15 minutes ago. So we were going to do it, and now we're not going to do it. So possibly after Spy Stream, I may come back for ongoing coverage, but Spy Stream stops for no one. So I'll be paying attention to the protest coverage. I'll be paying attention to see if something is popping off in Minneapolis, because it really might be. And if there is stuff going on, I may come back for additional coverage later. It just depends on what's going on. So come and join us for Spy Stream. Sorry if you're disappointed about Disenraged, but sometimes Jennifer is a writer. She's got to work, man. She's got to work. I understand it. I do. Projects have deadlines, and that's just the way it goes. But you know what? We're going to make the best of it. We're going to go into Spy Stream now. I hope you guys will join us there. And if you are not ready for that, you can come back tomorrow at 5 p.m. and we'll keep talking about this stuff. I appreciate everyone who sent in super chats today, except for Trendlin, who needs to, stop making me watch the Whatever podcast. But whatever, she still donated quite a bit, so I do actually appreciate it. I will see everyone on the other side. Thank you for supporting the work I do. Can't do it without you. See you in Spy Stream.